Okay, before we get started, let me remind everyone to please turn off your cell phones during news conferences. Additionally, flash photography is not permitted. Welcome to Montana State's press conference. Montana State's sports information contact is Tom Schultz. Joining us on the podium are head coach Tricia Binford and student athletes Cola Badbear and Darian White. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of your question, and please limit yourself to one question and at most one follow-up. If you're on the Zoom call and have a question, please use the raise hand tool and I will call on you. We'll start with questions for the student athletes.
If you guys wouldn't mind, Tom Wiley, MontanaSports.com. Just tell us about the experience so far. It's something different, I imagine, than you've experienced in your college career, but just getting here, swag bags, things like that. What's it been like for student athletes at the NCAA tournament?
Well, it's both of our first time making it to the tournament, so it's been really exciting. It was a dream come true to finish off the way that we did in our conference. So just chartering here was amazing. Just being around all of our teammates, coaches, our support, our band. Some of our dancers are here as well. So it's been really nice. It's been so much fun. A dream come true for sure.
Yeah, and just going off what she said, it's just a surreal feeling, and I still cannot believe, this is awesome and everything you dream of. And just the fact that we're living it, it's cool.
Zach Kaplan with ABC Fox Montana and SWX. I'm wondering for the two of you, when did it hit you? Was it Selection Sunday? Was it on the court in Boise? Was it landing here and it goes from like 30 and rainy to 60 and sunny? like when did it really hit the two of you? Like, wow, we're here.
I would say for me, probably Selection Sunday, just because we were sitting there. We had all of our fans behind us, and the anticipation was working up a little bit, just waiting for our team to be called. But just seeing all the teams getting called and seeing what bracket they were in and where they were at, it was just such a good feeling. It was unreal.
Yeah, mine was for sure walking down the steps after the charter. But yeah.
Hi, ladies. Janie McCauley from the Associated Press. Nice to see you. Stanford, you're facing the defending champs, but also a program that spoke up a year ago at the NCAA tournament and said, the women deserve to be treated the same way, and brought to light some things that have led to the banner behind you saying March Madness. And what does that mean to you? And have you seen some things already that show signs of progress and equity as you take this next step?
Go ahead.
Obviously, we weren't here last year to experience it ourselves, but we were seeing some of the things that were going on social media, and we thought I thought it was very brave of them to speak up and, say some of the things that were on their mind that they thought were unfair, which we completely agree, of course. But just because we weren't here last year, I haven't really been able, honestly, to give you any specific changes. But it's been really cool, to be here, obviously, and have the actual March Madness logo behind us. And I'm just really grateful that they were able to speak up, so we're able to have the experience that we have right now.
Yeah, and just to tag off that, I think it's really inspiring to see them find their voice and do that too as well. And like she said, it's both our first times here, and I think just being grateful for this opportunity.
Tom Wiley, MontanaSports.com. I know you guys have talked a lot about the 2020 team and those 5 seniors who didn't really get to end the season on their own terms. How much of those players been on your minds, and what do they mean to you, as you've gone through this postseason run and now getting to the big dance again?
I know both of us, we still talk to some of the players from that team. Like I said before, it was a very tough, heartbreaking year to not be able to finish out the season the way that we wanted, especially knowing just how talented we were. So just having them to still be able to talk to, Fallon Freegee still gives me confidence to this day, and it is just amazing to be able to have her still right next to us, supporting us, just as if she is still, on this team and a part of this team. So, yeah, they've had a really big impact on our careers here.
Yeah, and sorry, like she said, Fallon Freegee gives her confidence, and she still texts me a lot before every game and just after every game. And just hanging off that, we'll get texts from Madeline, and we got to see Martha at the tournament. That's so I really enjoyed that too, getting to catch up with her and just see what she's doing, and just hearing about her last experience playing back in 2020, like it was yesterday, it just gave me goosebumps to know, like that, wow, that was just 2 years ago, and how fast time can actually go.
Zach Kaplan, ABC Fox and SWX again. Wondering what you've seen from Stanford so far, both from a scouting perspective and just from, I imagine, watching them throughout the year. They've been on national TV a couple of times. What stands out to you about them, and what do you think are the biggest challenges they pose in tomorrow night's game?
Just their ability to execute everything. I think that they have their actions down to like a science. They are very, I don't want to say predictable like in a bad way, but they're very consistent in like what they do. They don't have a lot of mistakes on the board. Something that I think we're going to have a challenge with tomorrow is we need to make sure that we're on top of our rebounding, execute the things that we can do as best as we possibly can, and just have confidence out there.
I thought she said it best.
Darian, Tara Vanderveer pledged a couple hours ago to give $10 for every three-pointer made in the women's tournament to humanitarian efforts in Ukraine. And as a perimeter player, how much would you like to be a part of that and knock down some threes and help the cause?
I mean, that's amazing. That's all I can really say. Like, that is awesome, the fact that somebody's willing to do that. I would love to, but I also want to create opportunities for the best three-point shooters that we have on our team. Right here, one right here too. So yeah, I'm really excited for that, and I'm hoping to contribute to that as much as I possibly can.
I didn't mean, I was going to go back and forth.
No,
No,
you're fine.
sorry,
You're fine. You're
that was just a joke. That was a joke.
Okay. We're still learning about all the personnel here, so.
Well, on that note, there's a question from up here. So, Cola, 2 20-point games in March already. And Darian, Big Sky co-defensive player of the year. So could you maybe describe each other's game one at a time and what you're looking for? Like, what makes your teammates so special, and two, what you need out of each other against Stanford tomorrow?
Yeah, like you said, she just got the honor of being co-defensive player of the year. And she creates everything defensively, offensively. And I think, having her as my point guard just also opens up for me, and I wouldn't have had those 20-point games if it weren't for her or my teammates as well. And I mean, she does a lot across the board if you look at her stats. But I think for tomorrow, just needing her to bring the confidence and that swagger that she always has, and keep believing in each and every one of us. And I know you got to believe in yourself too.
I would say for Cola, she brings like a swagger in us that we all need. I love when she gets like an and one, or she finishes through contact and she shows a little bit of emotion, and it just gets us all going. She has an intensity, and she has a lot of urgency, and she brings a lot of communication and stability through our team, and I think that's definitely something that we count on. She brings consistency, and I don't even know, it's really fun to play with Cola. So I'm excited to see the things that she's going to do tomorrow.
Any more questions for the student athletes?
Zach with ABC Fox and SWX again. We talked about the players that have reached out to you both. I'm wondering just how amazed you've been from the fan support, and just how many people have reached out to you just as far as since you guys won the Big Sky and made it to the tournament. Has it been pretty wild just to have your phone blowing up the way it has?
Yeah, I can't even give you an exact number. There's just so many supporters and fans, and it's just a nice reminder, knowing how much support you actually do have, and gives you another reason to do good and perform well, and give that chip on your shoulder to do it for everyone back home.
Yeah, just along with what she was saying, I didn't realize how many supporters that we have that aren't even able to make it to some of our games, but are just watching through social media. I had a lot of DMs through Twitter, Instagram, people just messaging me, just saying how proud they are, and not only of me, also like our coaching staff and our teammates. So it's a really good reminder, just as what Cola was saying, and it's an amazing feeling to have all those people support us.
Tom Wiley, again, you know, I don't know what your usual game day routine is, but I know tomorrow it involves watching another basketball game with the men playing earlier in the day. I mean, how much are you looking forward to that, being able to watch that and then play in your own NCAA tournament game?
It's really exciting. Obviously, this has never happened in history before, so just seeing them and how successful they've been, it's truly like inspiring to watch. They are so incredibly talented, and I think they can make it really far in this tournament. And it, like I said before, it's inspiring, and it gives me hope and motivation and confidence to do well.
Yeah, and like she said, it's really exciting, and I think it'll just be fun to see how they do against other top players as well. And I like watching other post players, and so I'm excited to see what Jabril and what their posts do on the team.
Any more questions for the student athletes? All right, thank you, Cola and Darian. We'll now take questions for Coach Binford. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of your question. Thank you very much.
Hey, Tricia, Zach Kaplan with ABC Fox and SWX back in Montana. Just wondering for you, when did it hit you that the team had arrived and you guys have officially made it this far? And what's the experience been like for you since you got here to Northern California?
A couple of different times. Obviously, the last 5 seconds of the clock at the tournament, a couple different emotions going through your head, thinking about that 2020 class that they were talking about, and then obviously just how far this group has come, particularly that week of the tournament, just really coming into their own. And then obviously seeing your name on the screen on Selection Sunday. Pretty incredible feeling. And the only thing that, to me, when they were saying all these people texted them is I thought I was important until Rochelle Gardner had way more texts after that game than I did. So that's our director of ops, and just really, really excited for the players to have this experience. We're soaking it all up, and obviously we want to be locked in to give them a great game.
And just to follow up on that, Zach Kaplan again, what are some of the differences that you've noticed from the 2017 tournament, whether it's the backdrop behind you, the setup and the logistics so far? Have there been any differences that have stood out to you between the tournament 5 years ago and this year so far?
Well, we obviously haven't experienced all of it yet. I think there was some gear in the locker room that the kids just saw the box, so that's exciting. And the Under Armour gear, Under Armour's just done some really special things for the team for making the tournament. And obviously you see the logos, and I think my daughter has her own, so that's pretty cool. But most importantly, we want them to know they've done something really special that not everybody gets an opportunity to do, and we want to represent Montana State and Bozeman as best as we can. And the Big Sky.
Hi, Tricia. Janie McCauley from Associated Press. Did you take a peek at any of that gear or the swag stuff?
Yeah, I think there were some hats.
Okay.
But we did not open the box completely yet, so we obviously had to get out here really quickly. But we saw a big box, and there were some snacks, and you're talking about kids from Bozeman, Montana, and they're excited about getting In-N-Out Burger down the street. So we're just, every single thing has been really amazing, and this team just has a blast together. So we're super grateful. Obviously, all the people that are taking care of us, we're super thankful for that. The charter was amazing. The people that we get to experience that with, and we're a tight-knit group, and so we're going to be as loud as we can in our section tomorrow, too.
They know how to host here. They do a nice job.
They sure
But,
do, yes.
Do you appreciate what Stanford's role was last year? Certainly they won the championship, but the role in equity in bringing to light some concerns and issues that have made maybe this a better tournament for your young women.
Well, I think that starts with leadership, and Tara is one of the best leaders for women's basketball there is. And I think of all the trailblazers that have come across. My head coach in college was June Doherty, who worked on Tara's staff. We have trailblazers at Montana State with Ellen Craigbaum, Jenny Hunt. I am surrounded by trailblazers all the time, and the work is never finished. And leadership is kind of empowering others as leaders. And I thought our kids said it the best when just having the courage and just being brave of speaking up. I think that starts from the top down, and Tara is creating and empowering strong future leaders, and that's what we're trying to do at Montana State as well.
And had you heard yet about her commitment now to
I
help
did
the
see
Ukraine
that, and we will definitely donate to the cause as best as we can. I think it's really important. And also, we had a little history on the way over with Ambassador McFall, who is a graduate from Boise High. And so there's some connections there as well. And yeah, this can definitely be bigger than basketball.
Coach Binford, Tom Wiley, MontanaSports.com. About a couple hours ago, Tara Vanderveer was up here just saying good things about the Montana State program. And, as competitors, how much do you like just the opportunity to test yourself against, the defending champs, some of the best programs in the nation, and someone like Tara who's kind of been there, done that?
Well, I know we're going to get better tomorrow no matter what, right? So I think when you're talking about your program taking your next steps, you want to play against the best, and Stanford is the best, and they've proven themselves through the conference. I know the challenge that we have ahead of us, but at the same time, our kids are very excited about this opportunity, and we are going to be challenged in every facet. They're a well-oiled machine, and with great respect. We respect, obviously, the program on both ends of the floor. This is not just an offensive or a defensive team. It's both.
To that point, Zach Kaplan, ABC Fox, SWX, what have you seen from Stanford? What stands out to you on tape, and what are the things that are kind of keeping you up at night when you watch back through some of their games this year?
Well, there's championship talent and there's championship teams, and I think this team plays like a championship team. I think they have a lot of pieces, and they just don't rely on one player to do that. I think there's a lot of trust on their team. Like I said, I think they're very efficient. Darian mentioned to that, attested to that. I think very efficient offensively, and it's going to go through a lot of different people. So you've got your inside game, you've got your shooters, you've got people setting you up, you have bigs that can bring it up in transition, versatile players. Our conference is familiar with versatile players. So even if 1 through 4 is bringing in transition, that's something we're accustomed to. But at the same time, there's going to be some matchups that we know we're going to have to do a great job of protecting each other. But then on the defensive end, they're also very, very strong. I've seen some quarters in the Pac-12 where teams are putting up 2-4 points in the first quarter. So it's not just a team that you have to get multiple stops, but it's a team you're going to have to put some points on the board as well. So both ends of the floor are going to be important. And like I said, we're just going to come out here and try to be best at our identity and attacking through that.
Coach Tom Wiley, MontanaSports.com. We chatted about the 2020 team and those players who didn't get a chance to finish their season the way they wanted with your players. Could you elaborate a little bit just on what those players meant to you, and how much of a role they've played in this year's team?
Yeah, I mean, if you go through the entire senior class, Fallon Freegee came to us for 1 year for that opportunity, and we had a historic season. And we got to that championship game when we found out that we weren't going to finish the tournament, and so there's the what if. We just never had that opportunity. And then, in the Big Sky Conference, you're a one-bid league, and with that automatic berth, your preseason schedule, your strength of schedule, you're trying to get that strong seed, and we thought we had a chance to get a decent seed if we were able to finish with that championship game. And, and then we have one of those players is on our staff currently. When we hugged and embraced, we talked about her getting the ring, texted the other seniors. You got, they mentioned Oleana, Madeline Smith, we texted all that crew and just wanted to honor them as well, because it's hard. It's hard to go through that run, win 3 days in a row, or 3 days to advance, and those things. A lot of things have to happen and go right, but they are a big part of us.
One from up here. What are your thoughts on facing Tara Vanderveer for the first time as a head coach, especially as a coach who yourself have had a long and successful tenure at your current school?
Well, I told the team yesterday in film session, I think the biggest challenge when we saw who we were facing after the selection show is get them settled in and to just get now to being us. And I told the kids in film, I'm like, you're the underdog and I'm also the underdog. We're all the underdog here. But what a great opportunity. So much respect for who she is, what she's done as a mentor, and the talented team she's coached. And so we're excited about the opportunity. But at the same time, we want to give them a great game. We want to come in and, like I said, play to our strengths and really get settled in. It's going to not only be going up against Tara, who just obviously her resume speaks for itself, her team, but also this atmosphere on their home floor.
Tricia, 24 years ago this week, you were getting ready for the WNBA draft, but Harvard came into town in a similar spot as you, a 16 seed against 1 seed Stanford, and they pulled off the only 16-1 upset on the women's side of the tournament. Is that something that you've gone back and watched it all this week? Do you remember it when it happened? And is that something you think about showing your players at all to say, hey, this has happened before?
Well, it was definitely something that got sent to me immediately after we saw the seed on the selection show. So it's aware, and social media, it's everywhere, right? So our players have seen that. We're just going to go in with our best, and we're going to start with the first quarter. That's all we're focusing on right now, is making sure that first quarter we make them work for every shot that they get, and those points that are put on the board. We're going to have our hands full, and then we're going to address the second quarter. So we'll start with that first 10 minutes.
Any more questions for Coach? I'll do one last fun one. Tara was asked earlier about her relationship with Jocelyn Tinkle, assistant on the Montana Grizzlies side, and she said she didn't feel comfortable asking Joss to give a scouting report against a conference team. Did you ask for a scouting report from Jocelyn or any of the Tinkle family on what to expect in Tara and Stanford?
I did not, but I did text back and forth with Jocelyn saying, I know that we've got a big game ahead of us, and but Mike Doherty might have. So that's all I'll give. Mike Doherty used to coach in the Pac-12, and Sonny Smallwood has a lot of experience in the Pac-12. So, but with great respect, no, I did not ask for a scouting report either. I feel like Stanford is on every television station, so getting a scouting report is best coming from my daughter because we've been watching them for years. So we were watching film, and she's like, "Mom, you better make sure you box out Haley Jones." I'm like, yeah, I know that, honey. Well, she's right on it. If you want to know a true scouting report, just ask Brooklyn Binford. She's got them all down to a T. Been watching them for years. Very fun team to watch.
Thank you very much, Coach. Montana State practice will begin at 4:30 p.m. Court will be open to members of the media for the first 15 minutes of practice, after which the court will be cleared and practice closed. A recording of this press conference will be available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP, will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us.